Well. Hello there, everyone who is watching. Once again, the angry and the semi-retired, the spare viewer. Although technically I only do one thing, so in a way, I guess I could say I'm retired. But that's not the point. The point is, I will uh, come here with an Eden Zero Chapter 89 review. Perhaps some other things later, but we'll see how that things goes. Either way, this chapter is mostly just Hermito and the fight. And let me just say that Hermito shows some excellent fighting here, as well as a callback to her character development that she has been going through, as well as knowing that pain can give you a lot of things, but it can also make you a kinder person, and which is in a way what Hermito has become. She has become a little bit kinder, but she knows pain and she will not show any mercy to those that others give pain. So either way, in this chapter though, before that we get a very mysterious thing. Last time Master Noah talked about to defeat Drakken for some unknown reason. It's unknown if that is self-serving or if it's really for the good of all. And said that you have yet to know how terrifying Drakken really is. And now he suddenly drops a second bombshell that Drakken has had many names across the world. But there's one name that he rarely is called nowadays, and that is Undead Yo. Also, before I forgot that, Pinos Annales this time actually was surprisingly happy. I'm saying surprisingly because, in a way, happy was considered, well, a gear, not an ether gear, but a weapon. I didn't really think that he needed to be analyzed. However, he likes Rebecca, fish, dislikes dogs, has a 1 star in attack, 1 star in defense, a 4 in a marksmanship, which seems to imply that together with Rebecca's marksmanship, they can fire real good. He has 2 in ether power, which makes sense since that he always seems to be exhausted after every firing. A 3 in intelligence and a 3 in mechitude. What now that means. So yeah, that is about it. But back to the main story. Drakken is somehow called Underjaw, besides the fact that he is also called the Dark Alchemist. And for the first time in a very long while, it's mentioned that his power was great enough to place him among the Russians as Galactica. For the first time in a very long while, we have actually heard that name. We haven't seen any other one, although there is some speculation that seems to imply that Elsie is also an Russian says. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. She has a reputation. I'm pretty sure she is an Russian says. But it's still not exactly claimed yet what these Russian says Galactica are. The fact that Master says his power is great enough to place him among the Russian says Galactica implies that they are not a group that works together, but one group that the Galactic is referred to as the most dangerous. Through and is revealed that his Dark Alchemist nickname not only comes from his ether gear, but his underworld connections as well. But he's also called Undead Joe. No one really knows for sure, as Wonder. But then suddenly, as Master Joe has begun to explain that, there is some hacking, well not hacking, the connection to the Belial Gorel is being broken. As Master Noah tries to say that in a world, I believe that you have found that weakness, something like that. Unfortunately, appears before he can. Even so that when Rebecca asks, "Who really are you?" and he can also say, "I am," which seems to imply that yes, Master Noah is someone even more important than we think. And Shiki brings up a very good question here: is he really on our side? Because again, we cannot drop our guard with this guy. He has done a lot of questionable things for what he considers to be the greater good, but we don't really know. So, in the way, he has made them agree that they have to defeat Drakken. And here's another thing: is the fact that Wise seems to imply that he has heard that somewhere before, and it's also worth noting for the first time that Moscow actually says someone's name. Well, he said Miss Rebecca, but he says Mr. Wise. So where has he heard that name before? I don't know. But Master Noah can only stand in his office saying that it won't be a next time. This is my last chance. If we don't beat Drakken this time, I will die and Blue Garden will die with me. Implies that, if I remember, Blue Garden is the planet, not only the guild, which means that Blue Garden will die as well. We cannot forget that Drakken has the planetary destroying weapon at his hand, which he, for some surprising reason, hasn't used yet. So what Master is implying is, if this fails, Drakken will destroy Blue Garden. And that will be terrifying. So Master gambled with a lot of lives just for this one chance. That is a very questionable character. But we all agree that Drakken has to be defeated. But yeah, undead Drakken. Now before we continue, there's actually something we can go on about this. And that is, Drakken is an alchemist, or at least something sort of an alchemist. He mentioned the four elements of fire, water, wind, and earth, which bring forth alchemy. I don't know anything about alchemy other than Full Metal Alchemist, of course. And although they didn't really bring forth the elements, they did mention of the scientific alchemy that, you could boil someone from the inside out because their bodily fluid is still fluid if you have some kind of connection to transmute water. But the bigger question here is, what does undead have to do with this? And I'm not so sure, but here's a bombshell for you. What if the Drakken that we have seen all this time is not the real Drakken? And hear me out. What I'm trying to say here is, that is Drakken, that is his ether gear, but what I mean is that his real body? Because there is one thing that many themes of alchemy have in common, although I don't know exactly how that works. There are some who mentions that there is a method to turn metal into gold. That's part of alchemy, with the Philosopher's Stone, so to speak, which in a way is Drakkenjo's power. After all, he can turn any metal or anything into anything material. So in a way, that is the essence of alchemy. But another essence of alchemy also about the artificial human, aka the homunculus. So what I'm trying to say is it possible that the Drakken that we are seeing right now is a homunculus of the real Drakken, and that is why he is undead? Because technically that is not his real body. Therefore, even if you cut that off, that body will still resurrect because it's an artificial human. I mean, I know that doesn't make sense, especially given what we have seen of Drakken so far, but it doesn't answer the question, though, that Drakken is for some strange reason in a tub of liquid. We haven't gotten answered yet if he chose to do that after the team entered, or if that is his real body. So yeah, could it be possible that the Drakken is undead because the body that we are seeing is an homunculus, and therefore, even if he does die, he doesn't necessarily die, I don't know. But now on to the final thing of it all. We switches to Hermit, who fights Fi, as he gets more and more angry, and it's very satisfying to see that arrogant jackass becoming. He begins to activate his ether gear immensely. Although it is not exactly known if is this his overdrive, because his body suddenly becomes coated in a lot of flames, especially in his upper body. And the Draken did mention that overdrive is a power where you mutate a little bit along with your element, as he shown when he entered his overdrive. It's not confirmed. However, it is confirmed that his ether gear is named Flame Ammo, and the reason being that he can generate heat through for flames. But it does appear that that at first that he doesn't really seem to fire the flames using his body, but he can fire the flames, or at least heat into the things with destructive camouflage devices. But here's the funny thing: even though he does fire a fire, that was an unintentional pun. Even when he does use his powers, he still takes the time to enter the body of the robot that unfortunately Hermito loses connection to when heat disrupts the senses and then fires using it. For when I first saw that, I began to wonder: is does Fi's power work that he only has to have an equipment if he wants to fire his powers? I mean, his ether gear is flame ammo, which seems to suggest that he has to have a device if he wants to channel his heat into power. But that doesn't explain why he used his power to disrupt that. Although it may very well have just been flaming heat, not his true power, and this is concentrated fire. I don't know. It's that is not explained, and to be frank, I don't care if it is explained, as long as that guy dies a horrifying death. But no, unfortunately, he doesn't die. So, but it does as a sadistic thing. It's revealed he can turn into flames as he's been walking to a low tunnel and enters a secret weapon stash, saying that his speciality is sniping. And it's here that he mentions his ether gear flame ammo. However, just as he fires that power, he believes he has Hermito, but Hermit has a detective power who she called activating ballistic simulator aerial move and skillfully managed to dodge the bullet. And says that the day you enter the armory, your luck ran out and used running prison matrix. And suddenly, every single weapon in Fi's armor comes to life and points at him as a holographic view of Hermit appears, saying that I can hack into weapons that are hooked to the network. So, and even mentions that before Fi taunted Hermit about being an android, saying, "Do you feel pain? Can you scream for me?" And here Hermit throws a little bit words back at him, saying, "Your body temperature is much higher than a normal human's, and every modern android is equipped with heat sensors and thermal commands. That's just common sense." And what I mean by throwing away the fact that Fi was mocking Hermit for just being an android and feeling pain a little bit. But Hermit was saying that and believing that he could just escape from her just like that. But in the end, Hermit is a high-powered android and a fully functional that way. So he deeply underestimated the fact that she is an android. She has a device that can hook it up, and says that you have no hope of making it as a sniper, effectively saying that if he was up against many other modern snipers, well, then he would be gassed. And so Guns Harvest is fired as Fi is defeated, at least I presume. But Hermito mentions that she turned every single bullet into ether bullets, meaning that this was not lethal, but it was enough to knock him out. And so what I said about the character development, I can be kind because I do know pain. That is my way of my heart. And this goes hand to hand with what I said about her character development. Hermito went through a very unfair treatment and horrifying experience with Dr. Muller. We all saw it, we were all traumatized by it. But Rebecca and Shikis, as well as everyone else's kindness, managed to bring her back to the light. In a way, this solidifies her moment, saying that she knows pain, she has not forgotten it. But she is also now saying that who she is the new Hermit, the one who can be kind. She has experienced true pain, and she doesn't really want anyone else to experience the same pain as her. So she may not be as open-minded as Witch, but she does say that since she knows pain, she knows how to be kind as well. That is what separates her from a real other android. That is her way of her heart, as it solidifies her character development very well and nicely. So yeah, once again, another nice chapter. After having a bundle of very bad chapters full of despair, we are really kicking it into high awesomeness. But now begs the question on why is Drakken Yo suddenly so immortal? Well, that is not answered. But Fi is defeated, and that is satisfying. That arrogant jackass needed to be defeated. Now there are three Now there are three other Elemental 4 left. But the gang has yet to reach Drakken. And where is Jin? Give me your thoughts if you have any.